think. Right. Yeah. Right. Hello everyone. Welcome to this late night live stream. I'm just gonna wait for a few more people to join the chat and then we'll get started. It's got a few things to do on here. We're waiting. There's not very many people in the chat yet, so basically I've got a couple of videos I'm gonna respond to. One is I don't know if you saw my latest video, a response video to Alicia Whitey. That's her actual surname. I thought it was Weed, but it's not. It's Whitey. She's done another response video back to my response. So I'm going to be responding to that one. I don't really want to give her any more attention by making another response video, because her response is just retarded. It really is. She's going down like the religious path now, claiming that her God says it's okay to eat animals. That's the level of retardation that it's got to now. So I'm going to be responding to that one. And another video by, what's his name? Baden Reese. Sort of like an anti-vegan. He's saying he can't be vegan because of the nutrition kind of side of stuff. And he mentions vegan gains as well, so gonna be responding to that one, but it's just it takes so much effort to make a response video to these things. It's so much work, so I just thought, I'll just do it in the live stream. And also I want to make sure that this setup here works in preparation for, hopefully, fingers crossed, a live debate I'm going to be doing on Thursday with Actual Justice Warrior. You might know him from OG Mizen's live stream debate that he had a couple of weeks ago, I think it was now. So yeah, how many people have got in the chat now? It's a bit hot, yeah. V. Elliot. It's very hot. I'm a bit sweaty and a bit sunburnt from the heatwave that we've been having here in the UK. I have school tomorrow, but IDC, I'd rather watch this live. Yeah, I've got to get up at 8 o'clock as well. So, but I don't have to do any live streams or perform or do anything tomorrow. I'm just going to be driving around working, so I don't really care. Fuck it. Sunday night, why not? How many people have got in the chat now? Oh, Chris Hines! It's looking good. There's no I've not shown any URLs, Chris, have I? In the tabs. They're all hidden. You've got like the Google Hangout. Basically, if anyone comes in the chat that wants to come on, then I've got the Google Hangout set up here on the right, so that so people could just quickly hop on. Is the sync okay? Is syncing okay? The audio syncing with the video? It's a solo stream at the moment, but I don't know. I asked Richard I showed him the video. This Thomas, what's his name? Thomas Baden Reese guy. Basically, this guy thinks that well, we'll get into it and I'll play the video, but he thinks that you can't. It's very unlikely that you can be vegan and healthy and a bodybuilder if you're white. So the only reason that Vegan Gains has achieved his physiology as a vegan is because he's not white. I mean, what the fuck is that? It's just crazy. So I thought it'd be a funny video to respond to. If he wants to join in, then he can. I'll let him know. I'll let him know on Facebook. Now we're waiting for more people to join the chat. How many people have we got so far? How many people are watching? 15? It's not enough really, is it? I know it's late though. It's quite late. It's midnight. So everyone in the UK is probably going to sleep. But I've been checking out my analytics, guys, and more people in the US actually watch me now than in the UK. And so it goes US, UK is about 30%, and then 7% Canada, and then 5%, what is it? 5% Australia, and then it goes like no, I don't think Germany's in there. It's just like, I don't know, whatever comes below Australia I don't really care about. No, that's not true. I love all my... I don't know. It's really weird. And also my... it used to be more females watched me, and now it's like 65% male and the rest female, so I think maybe... and that's happened since I've been doing more of the response videos, so I think more women like to watch me when I was doing more street interviews, which I am still going to be doing. It's just it's hard to sort of fit in around my job at the moment. I'm going to be still doing the street interviews, so don't worry, it's not, you know, it's still going to be a permanent feature of this channel. But I'm going to be doing more live streams and hopefully more live debates, and yeah, responding to anti-vegan shit that I find on YouTube. Let's just go through some of the comments then while we're waiting for more people to join. Greetings from Macau, China. It's nearly 7 AM here. Oh wow, you're up early then. Are you? Have you got work? How long can you stay on the chat for? What time do you go to work? Alan Lou. Hashtag them genetics. BBC though. What's that referring to? BBC though. Them genetics. Oh, you're talking about my analytics? Maybe. Possibly. Heartborn. Were you the one I was messaging on Facebook earlier on? Heartborn. Was that you? I'm really confused. You said that thanks for the reply earlier today. So maybe you're the same person. Haven't heard the white people need meat though argument. Well, you're about to. You're about to. Have your notifications on so I watch your lives. By the way, I'm in the UK too. Cool. How long are you staying up for then, Franny M? Oh, you just finished work. Alan Lou. Oh, well, I used to night shifts as well, so I know how tough that can be. It's yeah, nothing like sleep deprivation when you're. It's not good. It's not good for your. It wasn't good for my mental stability when I was doing that at all, really. Do you like the BBC? That's from Charming Man. I don't actually watch TV, so I don't know. I guess so. Sometimes I check in with the news, but it's normally on the radio, not TV. So I haven't watched TV for a very long time. I wouldn't even know what's good on TV. Does TV even have anything that's good to watch anymore? Like, is it worth? Like, am I missing something good? Should I be watching TV? I saw that Klaus from Plant-Based News was on TV the other day, or LBC. I don't know, is that a radio? I don't know if LBC is like a radio station or a TV channel, but I saw on Plant-Based News that he was talking to someone about everyone's going vegan. That was really interesting. He did really well. I think he actually convinced the presenter to that vegan is the way. Right. I'm just gonna send some messages on Facebook, and then we'll go through this first video. 2 seconds. Right. Back to the chat. How many people we've got watching now? 25. All right. I'll wait till it gets to 30. So hit the like button, yeah, and share the video, and then get a few more watches. That'd be good. Come on. You should do it. You know it's the right thing to do. Okay. Back to the chat. Oh, Heartborn. Yes, it is you. Yeah, you sent me an interesting link to. What was it? Oh, it was some. It was some link to what would happen if the world went vegan tomorrow or something. It was quite interesting. It was more sort of positive than negative. There were a few negatives, weren't there? But it was mostly all positive. It seemed legit. I mean, I didn't really go through every single point and think about the legitimacy, the validity of each point. But yeah, it seemed quite seemed interesting anyway. I think I might go through it and maybe make a video about it at some point when I get a chance. After I've got like 2 or 3 vids lined up that I need to work on first. Gonna be doing some street interviews on Tuesday with the Hench Herbivore in Norwich, so get that one done first, and then we'll see about the other one. Hurry up! Oh my god, calm down. We'll get there. I'm just waiting for enough people to be in the chat. There's no point in, going through this if there's not enough people watching, because it's going to be hilarious. You're all in on it, We're all in on it together. Unless maybe I'll do the Alicia Whitey one first, actually, because that's a fairly simple one to do. In the chat, I've lost my place. Oh, a Heartborn. Yeah, it's referring to Black Genetics. They call it BBC. Oh, okay, I wasn't aware of this. Oh, and not related to the TV BBC. Okay, I get you now. I had no idea. So what does BBC stand for? Black something, I don't know. And yes, coincidentally, I'm the person you messaged a few hours ago. Yeah, I'm aware of that now. So, what is the thing then? Like, if you're black, then you're more able to eat plants and less able to eat animal foods? Is that how it goes? This is like totally new to me. I'm not aware of this argument. So, if you're Northern European, you're more likely to you're more likely to not be able to digest plants. Is that how it goes? I've never heard this. I've never heard this before, but it seems like I need to do some research on it. Okay. You guys should listen to Meat is Murder by Morrissey. Yeah, it's a good song. What I need to do actually is, although I'm not going to boot anyone out, but I want to know how to block people on the chat. I don't think it'll be necessary, but I just need to know how to do it, just in case anyone does. Because recently I've had a lot more trolls on my videos, and it's getting like really, it's getting really harsh. Like somebody like called me flat out a cunt today or something, or I'm the most annoying cunt on the internet or something like that, and it's just. I mean, I'm not going to delete those kind of comments, but it's always worth knowing how to sort of block people and stuff, if needs be. Right, I'm just going to start with this video. How many people have we got in the chat? We've got 30 yet. We've got over 30 people. I wanted to get to 100. Oh, 33. Okay, fair enough. Okay. I've got the chat on my phone because I can't have it on the screen because you'll all see my desktop and stuff, and I don't want you to be nosing around my desktop and stuff. So, There was a large bodybuilder I saw on YouTube a few weeks ago was admitting that he had been given bad nutrition info his entire career, is now going plant-based. Channel was gorilla with a cause. Okay. Was he black or white or Asian? Just out of interest. If he's white, then it all helps you. I'm just going to get into this video because it's really strange. He names a lot of white bodybuilders, like loads of them, and then he says, "Oh, but they're all exceptions. They're all exceptions to the rule or something." So let's get through it. I'll start the video and just let me know whether you can hear it. All right, okay? So just clicking start now. Oh, it's not working. Right. It's buffering a bit. Right, can you all hear that first and foremost before I proceed? Let me know. I know there's a bit of a delay on the stream, so can you all hear the video that I'm playing? Yes or no? Thumbs up, thumbs down, yes or no? Okay, I'm just going to wait until I get an answer. Because I can hear it through here, but I don't know whether I need to take these out for the sound to work and come through on the stream. No, you can't hear it, okay. In which case I'll need to take my earphones out. If I take my earphones out, is it going to echo back my voice on the stream? We'll soon find out, won't we? Okay, take that out. Okay, I'll play the video, let me know, and I'm going to talk, let me know if my voice is reverberating or not.
A lot of people advocating that we all become vegan.
So can you hear that now? Can you hear my voice, and am I echoing?
Now that I...
Let me know, yes or no. I'll just wait here patiently for 20 seconds. Yes, it is loaded on Chrome, Chris. It is loaded on. I've got Chrome. I've got Hangouts on Chrome. I've got Sync Video on Chrome. So it should all be good. Should I just play it? I think you could. Can you? I think you can all hear it now. That's better. Yeah, and it's all fine. Okay, right. I'll keep my headphones out then. I might need these if I bring anyone into the stream. Mightn't I? I don't know. I don't know how this is going to work. This is all new for me. I need to sort this out before Thursday because when I have the debate with Actual Justice Warrior, I need this to be perfect. I really do. And it's been a nightmare. Me and Chris Hines have been trying to figure this goddamn thing out all day. It's just been an absolute nightmare. Right. Okay. Let's play this video. So, I found this today. It's been up for the last week or so. It's only had like 100 or so views or something like that.
Society has an abundance of
Wait, let's just play it from the beginning. Let's just start from the scratch. Here we go.
So, let me tell you why I do not believe in universal veganism. Now, these days, on the internet, you will get a lot of people advocating that we all become vegans.
Thank you to Vohan V in the super chat. Have £2 BWP. Thank you very much, Vohan V. Just incidentally, thanks to all yous Patreons, I've been able to buy this new microphone thingy to do the live streams, and I got a bit of money off of it in Maplin, so thanks very much. It's going to improve the quality of live streaming and making videos and stuff. So, big thumbs up. Thank you so much. Okay, right. So, what is he saying? Universal veganism. I think he means like most vegans on the internet. I think he's misrepresenting what most vegans on the internet say particularly, people like Vegan Gains saying like like literally everyone in the world can be vegan. That's not at all what we're saying at all. And he's gonna make a point. He's gonna make a case for why not everyone can be vegan on health and nutrition premises. And this is something that the Alicia Whitey, whatever her name is, that's how she kind of backs out of the ethical argument of veganism. It's because she has some health condition that she thinks she can't go vegan because of it, but she actually can. I've pointed that out to her, and I'll go through this when we go through her video as well. So let's just continue while I read these comments.
Of it has an abundance of plant food. There is no longer any necessity to eat animals. And I have to tell you that I couldn't disagree more with statements like this, because to my ears, that kind of thinking is pretty much the equivalence of saying things like, fish don't need to live in water anymore because there's plenty of dry land available on which they...
But fish can't survive unless they're in water. Like, literally, if you take them out of the water, they're going to drown. They won't be able to breathe. So if you take... that's a false analogy, basically. Whereas, if you take the meat and the dairy away from humans, you can survive perfectly fine with just plant foods. So, that's fallacy number one, within the first minute. Can you link us up with the vid? I could just tell you what it is, and then you can go and find it yourself, because if I start putting links and stuff, if I start going on my desktop, and I don't really want to come up on my screen, so I could black out my screen and then get the link for you, or I could just tell you what it is. It's a YouTube channel called Thomas Baden Reese, which is Baden and then -RIESS, and it'll probably be his latest video. Universal veganism is not healthy. So yeah, maybe I should have linked it in the description. I'll do it afterwards. I'm not very. This is live streaming is a learning curve for me, and I need to every time I do one, I learn something new, and it gets better and better. So just bear with me, guys. All right, I'm not technically advanced in any way, shape or form. I've just spent a day going through how to do this live stream thing with Chris Hines, because when it comes to technology I'm really thick. Okay, so just bear with, and thanks for your patience. Right, so on with the video.
They could live. So let me come at this from two major angles, one of which is my understanding of the theory of evolution, and the other one is the fact that for 4.5 years, when I was younger, I was a vegetarian.
Okay, so he's going to make a case for why he wasn't healthy as a vegetarian, which, number one, that's not veganism, because you're eating dairy, you're eating eggs, you're eating cheese, which is going to fuck up your health. And he's going to come at it from the theory of evolution. So he's going to, I predict he's going to pull that whole sort of nature fallacy. He's going to pull that one on us as well, because it doesn't matter how we've evolved and how our genes have evolved, because the thing is, what you've got to understand is, like, morality and evolution are two entirely different, separate things. They're two different categories of things. So, your body can evolve, your physiology can evolve one way, but you've still got this problem of morality, which is evolving as well. Like, the two things are separate. And what people tend to do, they tend to sort of like muddy the waters and make them like one thing. That's just not the case. We can't just like join everything together. We're not, like fucking intersectionality, right? Right. Let's carry on. Come on. It's going to buffer a bit.
Animals. We see these pictures on the television of, factory farming, and it's absolutely hideous. I mean, let me say something else as well. I don't universally love animals. I find a lot of animals to be annoying. But still, when you see these images on the television, it's very, very upsetting. And one of my favourite...
Yeah, it is quite upsetting. I mean, I don't... Stop.
Of same...
Stop! This fucking thing keeps buffering. It's so... This happened earlier, like, it just won't stop when you ask it to. Right. Hold ye hard, ginger-bearded man. Okay, good. Aren't our intestines constructed to digest plants and not meat? Well, the thing is, yeah, they might be the case, but I never really argue for the sort of health or nutrition side of veganism. I only sort of purely argue from the ethical stance, because like that sort of health and nutrition argument is just a whole kettle of fish. You don't need to bother like going into, because like the ethics stand alone. I mean, it's just like a whole Pandora's box that you don't really need to get into if you can help it, because it's just too technical. Do you know what I mean? You don't need to get that technical to argue for veganism. Just bear with me, I just need to answer a message before we continue. Okay. Richard can't join the stream, but that's fine. I think he might respond to this video anyway, because it's, it mentions him in it. So, yeah. I've forgotten what I was responding to now. What did he just say? What was he just talking about? Evolution and vegetarianism. And the images that you see on TV. So he's talking about the stuff that you see on TV, the emotional pleas. I don't know what he's referring to that he's seen on TV. I mean, do they play? I've never seen sort of, although I don't really watch TV anymore. Do they play sort of distressing scenes from like slaughterhouses and stuff like that on TV? Is that what he's referring to? Like he doesn't put it in any sort of context or anything. So I'm just, all I've got to work with is what he's given me here in this video. But if he's saying, like distressing videos that he's seen on TV, having some sort of influence on whether or not he eats animals or not, well, I guess there is, yes, it is emotional, but there is totally an ethical argument for not eating animals as well. And just by looking at those stressful images on the TV, that should be enough to sort of prompt you to think, hang on, there is an ethical argument for not eating animals, isn't there? Just the same as there is for when you see distressing images on the TV, like people getting shot and killed, or flats burning down in London and stuff. There's an ethical argument behind. There's an ethical argument behind not stabbing people to death, as well as an emotional one.
In water anymore, because there's plenty of dry land available on which they could live. So let me come at this from two major angles, one of which is my understanding of the theory of evolution, and the other one is the fact that for 4.5 years, when I was younger, I was a vegetarian. But the first...
Right, yeah, so he's just repeating back what he just said a few moments ago.
thing I want to say, not to eat animals. You see these pictures on the television of, factory farming, and it's absolutely hideous. I mean, let me say something else as well. I don't universally love animals. I find a lot of animals to be annoying. But still, when you see these images on the television, it's very, very upsetting. And one of my favourite meats is pork.
It's very, very distressing. I love animals. I love animals, but I eat them too. I love humans. I'm an alien. I love humans. I love them. They're just adorable. They're just so cute, so friendly, so empathetic. But I adore human meat. I really do. It's just delightful. It really is.
And yet, on the other hand, I love pigs. I think they're very intelligent creatures.
There you go.
So I would love to be in a situation where I don't eat meat. But everything that I know from science and from experience tells me otherwise. So let's come to the theory of evolution.
What science? What science are you talking about? Everything that science has taught me has told me otherwise. So let us know what that science is then, at least. I mean, otherwise I'm just going to dismiss it as pseudoscience, you know? Because you could just say anything. Everything that I've been taught throughout my whole life has led me to this position. I can't think of an example, but, you know, that's just an assertion, really, isn't it? It's not really. There's nothing of any sort of great weight to what you're saying there.
Tells me, as I understand it, that we have to live like our ancestors. We have to live like our ancestors.
We have to, because we ate meat. Because okay. I've been listening to *Sapiens*, the brief history of humankind, and it goes into great detail about the foragers, the hunters, and the gatherers, and what they were like. Okay, today you'd call them tribes people because they're still basically nomadic people before we came to the agricultural revolution, where people started building homes to farm crops instead of wandering around foraging for stuff. And these people, these tribes and stuff, they're really good. They're really in tune with nature and stuff. Far more than we are today. They were experts in just knowing and understanding the natural order of things, how just everything to do with animals, everything to do with every single plant, and whether it's poisonous or not, all this kind of stuff. They're really in tune with nature, and but the thing is, they were also, because they were nomadic, they always had to move on. They didn't have homes. The women, it became very hard to bear children, and because it was very hard to bear children, they couldn't have children very often. So they were like these little pockets of tribes everywhere, like Homo sapiens, and so if somebody had a child, these people, apparently, I don't know how sort of historians find all this information. I guess they sort of base it on tribes people of today, but when if, for instance, if a child is looks funny or is slow or is just sort of arbitrary things, basically, if it affects the tribe, so if it's like a youngster or if it's an old person slowing down the tribe, they just kill them. They just kill them because it's for the greater good. Because of the greater good, they'll just, if it slows down the tribe, they have to go. So that is one part of the foragers, the hunter-gatherers, that to be consistent, this bloke should advocate for as well, right? Because our ancestors done it, so therefore, why didn't we emulate all the rest of the things that tribes people used to do? Not just eat meat, we don't need to do it today in this day and age, because we can just, especially not in the Western world. Anyway, listen to if you can download. We can get the audiobook, actually, *Sapiens*, on YouTube. You don't have to buy it. It's really, really interesting. Anyway,
to eat like our ancestors. So the way that I understand diet is that there are two major sources of food. There are animal foods, which are usually very fatty and which take a long time to digest. And then there are another type of food, which are plant foods. And
It's just really funny. Like, they're another type of food known as plant foods. It's like some kind of new revolutionary food I've never heard of before. It's like, it's plant foods. Have you ever heard of these, for this kind of food before? It's very strange. Right. Yeah, let's carry on.
These plant foods, they're carbohydrates, and they take a very short amount of time to digest. If you eat them, they will go through your digestive system very, very quickly.
He's gonna say why carbohydrates are bad for you and stuff, and because they don't take very long to digest and stuff. This is where like my knowledge sort of fails me, because I'm not really that clued up on nutrition and stuff like that. But I'll do the best I can. But I'm more sort of going to concentrate on the ethical argument here. But if you guys have anything to add in the chat, I'll see whether I can. It's hard to sort of look at this, taking what he's saying and read the chat. So maybe just do @Banana Road Princess, so I can take more, better notice of you if you have, if you're more clued up on this kind of stuff than I am. All right.
The way I understand diet is that it is a spectrum. It's a spectrum with two extremes at the end, and in between you have every other possibility. And the way it works is this: either you eat a lot of animal food and just a bit of plant food, or you eat a lot of plant food and just a bit of animal food, or you eat, 50-50, a mixture of plant food and a mixture of animal food. You will be somewhere along this spectrum. And indeed, there are people who are at either poles of this spectrum. So there will be people like Eskimos who will only eat animal food. They will only consume blubber and seal and...
Yeah, that's because they've got no choice, though, dude. It's not like... by choice. I don't know. I don't know whether Eskimos, Inuits or whatever, I think they get food flown in now to some extent, but more often than not, it's just because they don't really have a choice, and they don't really their average lifespan isn't, like, their average age isn't very high either. I'm not really sure what it is, but it's not very. It's not like they don't live to their 60s and 70s and ages like that. So
whale and this kind of thing. Then on the other hand, there will be others who only eat plant food, who will be pure vegans. I guess, I'm not quite sure about this, but I guess, in certain parts of India, there will be people who are genetically adapted.
Yeah, I guess. I guess, I'm not quite sure about this, but there might be people that are genetically, that have a genetic predisposition to be able to digest more plant food, like pure plant foods. But I'm just guessing. I'm just surmising. I can't be sure.
To eat solely vegetable-based diets. So the thing I will say is that if your ancestors were vegans, you had better be a vegan.
No. Because evolution, right? And evolution does not dictate how you should be today. It's evolution is like it wants you to pass on your genes so that the human species can survive and stuff, but it doesn't dictate what you put into your mouth today, because we can survive 100% on a whole foods, on a plant-based diet. That's evidenced by all the millions of vegans that are surviving in the world. Evolution doesn't need to dictate that to you. That's just... I wrote something down today about evolution from this other book, audio book I'm listening to. It was quite interesting. Oh, it's to do with like the mind and stuff, but I suppose it could apply to physiology as well. To say that the mind, we'll just say body for now, is an evolutionary adaptation is not to say that all behaviour, we'll say, eating plants or being able to digest plants, is adaptive in Darwin's sense. So you know, evolution doesn't have to dictate your behaviour today, because obviously we've got examples like, okay, evolution wants you to procreate. That's why there's men and women, because you can't make a baby with two females or two men. Well, you can now, because we've got, I don't know, you can. There's loopholes around it now that you can have two women have a baby, one gets impregnated artificially. We can get around that evolution, but that's just, so that's an example of how your behaviour can be different from what evolution wants you to behave. Does that make sense? So it's just it's not an argument. Like saying evolution though it's not going to go anywhere, because we've got all these other examples of where evolution does not dictate how we behave today, because we've got people that are gay, we've got people that are transgender, we've got people, there's so many examples where, like, come on, evolution, no.
It's not only possible for you to be a vegan, it's the healthiest option for you. But I cannot believe that...
Did he just say it's the healthiest option for you? Can I just rewind that bit? I wasn't really paying attention, I was just looking at the chat.
For you to be a vegan, it's the healthiest option for you.
Healthiest option
but
for
I cannot believe that genetic inheritance applies to the majority of people.
I cannot believe that genetic inheritance applies to the majority of people. But that's just you're saying that's what you believe. I hope you're going to back it up with citations or something. Otherwise it's just dogma, isn't it? It's just like a religion. It's faith based. I don't know. It's just my opinion. That's what it sounds like to me so far.
Majority of people need to eat a little bit of meat, or they need to eat.
Why? The majority of people need to eat a little bit of meat. For what is in meat? What nutrients are in meat that you can't find in plants? What is it like? Just because you believe something, you've got to say, what is the causal link between not eating meat and not being healthy? It's not. Maybe he'll go into it. I don't know. But at the moment, it seems all very, very faith-based to me.
Or they may even need to have a diet which is absolutely based around meat. And I would especially say, in my experience, that Northern Europeans have a tendency where they are more on this hunter diet than they are on the gatherer diet.
They have a tendency to be more of a hunter diet than a gatherer diet. What the fuck does that mean? We don't go and hunt animals. We just buy them neatly packaged in the supermarket. It's like, yeah, we have a desire to eat meat because we like the flavour and stuff. That doesn't mean that we need it. That's just we like it. Two things are different. Like your behaviour is influenced by your preferences, not by necessity.
They are more prone to be able to consume meat-based foods and animal-based foods rather than plant-based foods.
Well, I would maybe, I think what he might be referring to is that oh no, he's not. Is he saying I think what he's saying is, if you're white European, Northern European, then you're more able to digest animal products, for instance, milk. Like if you're white, you're less likely to be intolerant to lactose and stuff like that, whereas if you're black or Asian, you're more likely to have a dairy intolerance. But again, that doesn't mean that it's necessary. It doesn't, because the thing is, if you take the dairy out, like I've been vegan for 3.5 years now. If I have dairy, and I used to be fine consuming dairy, no intolerances whatsoever. I know this is just my own. I know it's this is like anecdotal evidence, so I can't speak for all white people, but that's all I've got to go on now because I haven't looked at the figures and I haven't looked at the stats or anything like that. But I know that if you're white, then you're more able to consume dairy without being intolerant. But I've been vegan for 3.5 years, and I've slipped up a few times and had dairy, and it's made me, it's given me diarrhea and stuff, and I come up with like pussy kind of spots around here and stuff, and on my arms. So I know when I've had dairy, like I know I'm intolerant to it now because there's some kind of enzyme or something that dies off naturally, once you stop having to consume breast milk, because your body doesn't need to consume breast milk anymore because you're not an infant anymore. So but I don't know the science behind why people of ethnic minorities are more intolerant to dairy and that sort of thing. I haven't looked at it. It's something that Vegan Gains would probably know. I don't know. Again, hopefully he might respond to this video a bit better than what I am now, but I'm just going to go at it purely from the ethical side because it's just easier, and I don't feel like I need to get into the nutrition. So
that's what I would know. But I will say, let's just note here, I have seen that there are bodybuilders on YouTube, like the Veganator, for example, who are white.
I really like the way he says the Veganator. He's got quite a good voice, actually. I like his I really like his voice, but I don't like what he's saying. I think it's total bullshit. Maybe I should get him on a debate. Ask him.
Probably have a Northern European heritage, who seem to be able to get, very ripped bodies out of consuming a vegan diet. So I would definitely, I'm not saying that if you are Northern European, you can't do this, but still, despite people like the Veganator and quite a few others, I would still say that these people are exceptional, that they have something in their genetics which makes it possible for them to thrive off.
Well, he hasn't given any examples of people that aren't thriving on a vegan diet that are white. So, I mean, can we say what he's saying? Like, can we just brush it off because, like, he's not giving any evidence to the contrary. He's just saying that I'm not saying he's saying I'm not saying you can't do it if you're white, but I think these people that are like ripped and white and vegan, they're just exceptions. Well, that's a very convenient argument, isn't it? Because you don't have to give any evidence to the contrary. You're just saying, because just they must be an exception to the rule. Well, what rule? Because you haven't actually stated what the rule is or given any citations as to what it is or given any links or anything. So how do I know how do I know what you're saying is true? I can't take what you're saying is true, can I? Because you haven't given me any fucking evidence.
Vegetable, plant-based foods. I cannot believe that this is a universal. I really don't think it. I mean, you look at some.
I cannot believe it. I don't believe it. Again, it's just like saying. It's just faith-based rather than anything else.
More like Vegan Gains, and immediately what I think is, well, Vegan Gains is not white.
It's not white, so therefore that must be why. That must be why he's thriving, and that's why he's making the gains, the vegan gains, isn't it? Because he's not white.
And therefore, I'm not particularly interested in his advice because I know that I have different genetics to him.
Okay, people in the chat, can you give me some names of some white bodybuilders? I know there's what's his name, Corey McCarthy. There's Hench Herbivore, Veganator. I don't know him, but yeah. Who else do I follow? Oh, there's countless examples on YouTube, isn't there? I just don't really follow because I don't really follow bodybuilders apart from people that I talk to online.
Him, and so what applies to him, doesn't.
Also, though, if you are black, you're more predisposed to. You're more predisposed to being more athletic anyway, aren't you? Because it's like black athletes like basketball and Olympic gold medalists, you know, in sprinting, in whatever. Like if you're white, like there's more marathon runners and cyclists that are white than are black, right? But if you're black, you're gonna be more muscular and all the rest of it. Like you're more I don't know. I think this is right, but I don't really know. I could be like digging myself a well big hole here. I don't know, but I think that's the case. But I will check it.
Necessarily apply to me. And like I say, this is the kind of understanding of diet that I came to from people like Paul Chek, people like William Walcott, who has the metabolic typing theory of diet, people like Dr. McCullough. And
I don't know any of these names, so like, tell me what they've said or name the studies or whatever, and we can take a look. But this is just name dropping. I don't know if that's really an argument or not.
No, as far as I can understand, you know, this is the theory of diet which makes complete sense to me. Now the second thing.
Well, what theory? What theory are you going on about? That if you're white, you can't be a bodybuilder and be vegan. I don't get it. Like, you could be healthy though, and a bodybuilder and vegan. Maybe you won't. I don't know. If you have like a bodybuilding competition and you've got somebody that's black and you've got somebody that's white and they're both vegan and they've both been training just as hard as each other, the black bodybuilder might win it or something, but that might be more to do with their genetics, their actual genetic makeup is going to make them. They're just going to be like built better because of their genetics. You can't deny that. It's got nothing to do with. It has something to do. A little bit has to do with, you know, what they've been doing. So it's the nature nurture argument, but I think mainly, if you're black, you're just going to have better genetics for athleticism, for being bigger and stronger, aren't you? So I don't know if he's acknowledged that or not. I think he's just placing it all on the diet without talking about the genetics. So that's the fair.
I was a vegetarian for 4.5 years when I was younger, and it completely ruined my.
Oh, here we go. Vegetarian for 4.5 years, and it completely ruined his health. How did it? Okay, he's gonna get.
Me anemic. It made me very almost anorexic. I was very.
Yeah, probably because you were consuming all that dairy. That's why you had the anemia, right? Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't dairy have something to do with blocking pathways for getting iron in or something? Again, this is vegan gains territory, I'm not sure. But you weren't vegan, so if you were making a case for why vegan isn't healthy, you're not doing a very good job because you're talking about vegetarianism, which is completely different to veganism. Isn't it? Yes, it is.
I was tired. I was always hungry, and it was just in all ways it was just a complete and total disaster. And the thing is that I was never able to satiate my hunger on a plant-based diet. So, for example, I'd get up in the morning and I'd have something like porridge for breakfast, and then about 20 minutes later, I'd start to feel desperately hungry. Maddeningly hungry.
Okay, we don't have all the information there. We don't know how much porridge, how many calories he was getting, whether he was, you know, what other foods. Well, I mean, he's going to tell us what other foods he was eating, but I mean, we don't know how many calories he was getting. So how are we supposed to know whether he was getting enough or not?
Hungry. Okay, I'd feel really, really angry and. Aggressive and mad, and then have to have something else. So then I might.
If it's really low fat as well, it's going to be low calories. So if you're having including more meats and cheese and dairy and stuff like that, you're going to be getting more fat, which is way more calories. So you've got to, you can't just ignore the fact that you're having less fat, therefore less calories, therefore less energy.
of bread, have some bread, with some, I don't know, margarine on or honey or something. And then again,
it's really the way he's saying it as well. I just want to get into it more sort of from a psychological angle. Oh, I don't know. I just have some bread with some honey and some marge. I don't know. I don't really know for sure. I could have eaten that, but I don't really know for sure. I don't know. Are you bullshitting us? Like, are you just lying?
20 minutes after that, I would be maddeningly hungry again, and I'd have to satiate my appetite, and I'd get through more and more.
More. Yeah, okay. I've heard this argument before, like, because he was eating all these carbohydrates and stuff like that, therefore insulin response and da-da-da-da-da. But if he's eating all this dairy and stuff as well, is that going to be affecting his insulin response? Because it does, I think, doesn't it? Like milk and cheese and stuff fucks with your insulin levels or something. So if you were just going to have just a plant-based diet without the animal foods that counteract that insulin balance, then you probably would be just fine. But you weren't doing a vegan diet, you were doing a vegetarian diet.
More and more carbohydrate food. And it was just a never-ending cycle of that. The more that I ate, the more hungry I became. And I'd have to get out of this kind of way of working by drinking coffee which would like appease my hunger. But coffee's not good for you, and especially when you start becoming addicted to it. You're drinking cup after cup after cup just to satiate your hunger.
Drinking lots of coffee, vegetarian.
All a complete and total disaster. Another thing I will say is that I cannot tolerate lentils, pulses, beans, this kind of thing. I don't eat any of these foods in my diet today. And
wait. Why can't you tolerate them? Stop. Why can't you tolerate lentils and beans in your diet today? Like, does it affect your obviously it affects your digestion in some way? Is that what I'm assuming here? I don't know. See, he doesn't really give enough context or enough information. I'm just assuming. I'm just assuming that that's the case, but I have no idea for sure. He's not really going into enough detail.
So if you're becoming a vegan or you're becoming a vegetarian, why don't you try these things? And in order to get a suitable intake of protein, I simply don't digest these things very well. The breakfast that I will eat today.
Okay, so he doesn't digest them very well. So, so possibly it's giving him wind and stuff like that. It's just, you can manage that. You can manage beans. You don't have to eat beans to be vegan. You don't have to eat lentils to be vegan. If they don't digest very well, then maybe you're mixing. Again, if you're mixing it with dairy and stuff like that, I don't know whether that's going to be very good for your digestion either. So perhaps if you're just sticking to just plants, like if you just try the vegan diet and just stick with plants, take out all the cheese and the meat and dairy, and then come to a conclusion, then we can take what you're saying seriously. But you haven't tried a vegan diet at all. You've just said I can't tolerate beans as an omnivore.
Huge quantities of meat for my breakfast. I'll have huge quantities of red meat for every meal, unless I have, sometimes I have cheese instead. But I will.
And what is he eating it with then? Is he just eating raw meat diet or something like S33 Raj?
I'll always have fat. I'll always have animal fat in my diet.
Why?
It's very, very important. So let me just
Wait, whoa, why? Why is animal fat important? It's just like, oh, animal fat is important. Right, next. Let's just next point. Just like pretend nobody ever heard that, because I don't want to go into that rabbit hole of why animal fat is important, right?
A few closing remarks. If in the future they come up with some meat substitutes, I will happily eat those. But what I mean by meat substitutes is I mean a substitute on the level of the Star Trek replicator. Where, atom for atom, the replicated meat is basically identical to real meat. That's the thing. Now, I know that these days they are growing things, and they can sort of grow muscle tissues in the.
So basically, what he's saying is he doesn't want to give up his lovely meat because he loves the flavour of meat, he loves the taste of it, and that is a good enough excuse for carrying on an unethical behaviour, right? So he's saying his taste buds, his taste preferences, override morality, override ethics. So if you're going to say that your taste preferences are more important than ethics, then what else can you justify with that same logic? If you like raping people, is that okay because you just like doing it? It's just flawed logic, really, isn't it?
The laboratory, and I think that might be going somewhere. And that could lead.
But you're gonna wait until then because you just like the flavour of pigs, basically. So yes, it's very sad. You've seen all these horrible images on the TV, and it's all very sad. And you love pigs, and you think they're intelligent, and you love animals, but you still have to eat them because of the flavour. That's the most important thing for you. You haven't presented any evidence as to why vegan diets are any less healthy than omnivorous diets whatsoever. You've just said you were a vegetarian once and you couldn't get on with it. Well, that's not a vegan for one, and you haven't said in any way, shape or form how it's any more unhealthy. It's a bit slow. Come on.
It's basically to believe that these meat substitutes are an equivalent for true meat. It's just dishonest. They are not the same.
No. Nobody's saying that they're the same because they're called mock meats. They're called chicken style. They're called, these mock meat companies, they're not saying it's the same thing. Of course not. It's definitely not the same thing. It's a substitute. They're called meat substitutes. They're not saying they are meat, So that's a misrepresentation.
To make an important point, let me tell you this. If you take a normal quantity of meat and you put it into a NutriBullet and you make it into like a soup and you drink it instead of eating it, you will find that plays havoc with your digestive system.
Hang on, hold up. I forget what he says. Is he talking about meat or meat substitutes? Let's just rewind.
Soup, and you drink it instead of eating it.
I need to go back a bit more.
It's honest. They don't contain the same things. To make an important point, let me tell you this.
So he's saying that, they don't have the same nutrition. Of course not, because the meat substitutes, they don't contain the cholesterol, all the animal fats and stuff like that. They don't have the same amino acids. They do contain amino acids, but probably not in the same formation or whatever as meat. But that doesn't really matter. I think I'm of the understanding that it doesn't matter what form your amino acids get into your body, because your body sort of scavenges what amino acids are already there inside of your body and makes complete a complete protein formation from what you've already got. So it doesn't really matter whether you get it from meat, from plants, or from beans, or from rice. Your body's going to make it into complete protein anyway. So yeah, but let's get back to the NutriBullet thing?
If you take a normal quantity of meat and you put it into a NutriBullet,
Okay, he's talking about
and you make it into like a soup, and you drink it instead of eating it, you will find that that plays havoc with your digestion.
Does it? Oh, I've never heard that before. So if you put some meat into a NutriBullet, blend it up with some water or something, and then drink that, it's going to play some havoc with your digestion. Is that because it's broken down the protein? I don't know. Does blending break down proteins or something so that it plays havoc with your digestion? I've never heard that before. I don't know if that's true or not. You've got to take what you're saying with a pinch of salt, to be honest.
And the reason is that if you don't go through the process of mastication or chewing, then your body doesn't understand exactly what is happening. And the moral of this story is that even if you take the exact same food that you are eating and just change, the method, if you purify it and make it into this soup and drink it instead of eating, even if you change things on that level, your body will suddenly run into problems. It will run into difficulties. It won't know how to cope. And the moral of this story is that if you just tinker with things, even in the slightest degree...
If you just tinker with things... What, so the same would happen if you blended up mock meats? So? Like what's that got to do with whether or not we can digest plants or not, or whether the plants are good for us?
Taste. The exact same chemicals as you would normally eat, you're just doing it in a different manner. Even in this case, the body runs into trouble, and therefore I cannot believe that these meat substitutes that exist out there could be considered in any sense an equivalent to proper meat. The final thing I want to say is that...
Hang on a second. I don't really understand what he's talking... What is he talking about? I don't understand what? If you blend up meat, your body can't handle it. If you blend up meat substitutes, your body can't handle it because you've got to masticate it. So how is that an argument for eating meat then? What? This doesn't make any sense. Can anyone, if anyone in the chat can, maybe I'm just being thick or whatever, but I don't really understand what his argument is there. If you eat a banana or blend a banana, it's the same fucking thing. Well, I drink blended up bananas every morning. It doesn't seem to have any effect on my body. If you blend up vegetables, it doesn't seem to have you can juice vegetables, you can juice fruits. It doesn't seem to play any havoc on my body or my digestion or anything. And smoothies, they contain a lot of fibre. So is he talking about, if it's blended up protein then, or something like that? I don't know. Plants contain protein, don't they?
Listen, I know, I've had experience with a lot of, let's say, vegan or vegetarian girls. I know actually one of them...
Oh, yeah, I remember, I watched this earlier. This is funny as fuck, this bit. Listen to this.
This channel, she's called Chicafil. And I'm sorry, I think she...
Oh, she's got a channel, Chicafil. Let's check her out, guys. I don't know if he's linked it in the description. Chicafil, a vegan girl.
Might be a bit upset about this video, so, let me apologise to you. But the thing I will say about vegan girls and vegetarian girls...
I'm a vegan girl. So basically, he's basically going to be talking about me now, guys, okay? He's going to be talking about vegan girls. Maybe hashtag not all, but pretty much all vegan girls are like what he's about to describe them as now. Okay? You listening, vegan girls? Any vegan girls in the chat?
And you end up really, skinny and unhealthy. They're not going to be interested in...
Oh, wait. Just back up a bit. I want to listen to that bit again.
If you are... and you end up really, skinny and unhealthy, they're not going to be interested in you.
Oh, okay. So if you're a guy and you go vegan and you end up skinny, vegan girls aren't going to be interested in you because all vegan girls are interested in are buff blokes, right? If you're skinny, you've got no hope in hell, because vegan women, or vegan women in particular, are only interested in guys because of their physiology. It's because of how they look, right? It's got nothing to do with their personality. It's got nothing to do with how intelligent they are. It's only to do with, you've got to be built big and strong, okay? Nothing to do with your personality whatsoever, is it?
As a man, what you need to do is, to impress these women, you have to eat a lot of meat.
Wait. To impress women, you have to eat a lot of meat to look like strong and stuff. Because women are only interested in how you look. No, we're not. Oh my god. What? So it's just speaking for women now? Like what? I wonder if he's got a girlfriend and what she's interested in. Like. I've never dated a girl. I've been out with some really, really aesthetically pleasing guys, and they've been fucking boring as fuck, and just really low IQ, and just really dull, and it just doesn't last. And they take care of themselves in the gym, built really nice and everything. They look after their bodies, but just nothing there. It's just like nothing stimulating at all.
Bulk up, become, muscular and beefy. And when you are like that, provided that you occasionally say, "Oh, I think I might go to vegetarianism in the future," or "I think I might become a vegan in the future," and provided you, once in a while you have a day where you don't eat meat, these vegan girls will be satisfied enough with that.
No. Just no.
You're on the right road. And
no, you're just totally misrepresenting not only vegan women, but all women in general. Because with for me anyway, I can't speak for all women, but the personality is everything. Like over and above your looks. Obviously, I don't want anyone that's like obese or anything, but I just think women are more drawn to men's personalities because they want someone. Not just that looks strong, that is strong in mind as well, that can look after you, that is is basically somebody that is assertive, If you haven't got that, then I don't care, I don't give a fuck whether you work out in the gym or whether you're beefy or whatever. Who cares?
They will always love you more than someone who is an actual vegetarian and who has ruined their health by being so.
Okay, so give some examples of where that's happened then, because this is all hypothetical, but I suppose you could say that people have ruined their health by going vegan, but they've ruined their health by going vegan because they're just eating shitty foods, Like, you can be vegan and eat chips and bread all day, and ruin your health that way and get real skinny. Or you can, be like a hench herbivore and he's white, he's beefy, he doesn't eat beef, and he's a very nice person too.
Porks out, eats a lot of meat, and gets looks healthy and fit and bulky and so forth. They will always love this kind of guy, provided he's.
What's there to love? What's there to love? Like, you don't give a fuck about ethics. So you're a vegan girl, right? So he's saying a vegan girl would love a man more because he's beefy looking, and he says he cares about ethics, but he won't actually go vegan because he'll get skinny. So he cares more about his body being in shape than ethics. Therefore, how is a vegan girl gonna admire that over somebody that just speaks out for ethics and doesn't give a shit about what people think about that? But that's showing like proper balls, isn't it? Over and above somebody that just can't be asked to do that because they have a faith-based belief that they're going to get skinny or something if they go vegan. Why don't you just try it and see, why don't you just try veganism and stop buying into all this bullshit that you're believing?
provided he's willing to pretend occasionally that he doesn't eat meat, even though he's secretly eating it behind the curtains. This is I always get very, very triggered when I hear, vegan women and vegetarian women, championing the cause of vegetarianism and telling us all to become vegans, because ultimately their ideological ideas are not in line with what they find attractive.
Their ideological ideas are not in line with what they find attractive, but you've misrepresented what women actually find attractive. You're just saying that they are only attracted to men if they look a certain way, and that's just not the case. That is just not the case. So he's basically misrepresented what women want. He's made an anecdotal case of why veganism is unhealthy because he was vegetarian once. He said that, what was it? Blending up, because blending up meat fucks with your digestion, therefore eating plants is unhealthy for you. And I don't get the link there. I'm still not clear on the link there. And what else is it? And evolution, though. Even though you don't have to rely on evolution to, like, your behaviour doesn't matter. Like, evolution has no bearing on your behaviour today, because we've got all these examples of where evolution doesn't have any bearing on behaviour, such as people that are gay, people that are transgender, women doing masculine jobs, all this kind of thing, So it's just utter bullshit. I hope Richard responds to it and goes through the and does the bullet. What's it? The meat blender thing. I could just imagine him doing some kind of funny sketch to do with that. Oh. Yeah, so that's that video. Is that the end? A little bit more?
In a man. Anyway, let me know what you think about this subject in the comment section.
Yeah, everyone, let him know what you think in his comment section. I haven't linked to the video, but you can see the title on screen there. Universal veganism is not healthy, and the name of his channel is Thomas Baden Reese. BADEN-RIESS. I'll link it in the description after I've finished the live stream as well, when the video gets into my video manager thing. Right, I'm going to go on to one more quick response, and then we're going to wrap it up to the Alicia Whitey video. I need to black out my screen for a minute just to set up everything, but I'll carry on chatting to you in the comments. Make sure thumbs down that video, Banana Warrior Princess. The thing is, though, it doesn't really matter whether it's thumbs down or not. It still gives, whether it's thumbs up or thumbs down, it's still promoting the video anyway. So, yeah. Okay. Just need to load up another video now. How do you guys feel like I'm getting on with this live stream? Is it all going technically well? Any lags? Is my audio good? Because I want to make sure it's good for Thursday for the live debate I'm going to be doing with Actual Justice Warrior, which I think I can pretty much confirm now. He's playing around a bit. He's saying he's got to sort out a few things before he can actually confirm. But he's saying go ahead and promote it. And I don't really want to promote it too much if he's going to just cancel at the last minute. That would just be really shit. So, yeah, I want to make sure I've nailed down this OBS stream malarkey in time for that. Okay. Just getting the link. Okay. Right. This is really slow and I can't pause the video, so you might be able to hear two things at once in a minute, but just bear with me. Right. AJW will turn up. Yeah, I hope so. I'll go into a little bit what he's actually, because we've been direct messaging on Twitter, and I'll tell you, I won't read them out, but I'll tell you what he's proposing that we talk about. And I think Isaac has talked a little bit about this on his live stream the other day, going into the oh god, I'm getting tired now, the invasive species argument and the pig valve argument. He's going to go down the wheat though argument, I know that for sure, but yeah, I'll get into it a little bit after I've sorted out this video. Is it going to load? Oh shit, what's it doing now? No. Oh, I can't get this into the sync video for some reason. It's because it's on a playlist. So if I play this, right, hang on, if I put my screen back now, there, right. Right, I think I just need to continue playing this and it's going to jump to the next video, hopefully, on the playlist.
Sure.
So I'll just let this one end.
Sure.
Come on. Oh, come on. What's wrong with it? Oh, that sucks.
Sure.
What's going on? Right, it won't let me play it now. I can't, it's not letting me click onto the next video for some reason. So I think what I'm going to have to do is reload it all together. So just bear with me 2 seconds. I might take a couple of minutes. Sorry about this. I'm just going to have to refresh. Right, here we go. Cool. Right. Right, hopefully everyone can see that one now on the screen. Is it coming up on the live stream? Yeah. Okay, so you might recognise Alicia if you've watched my last video where I respond to her response video debunking vegan gains, where she totally just glosses over the ethical argument for veganism because of the fact that she has this digestive condition, this she's got a condition with her digestive system. It's called gastroparesis. I looked into it a little bit, and on the NHS website, and it said usually people get this condition when they've got diabetes that they haven't controlled properly, or if they've had some kind of stomach reducing surgery, like some kind of weight loss stomach reducing surgery. I haven't actually, I'm not going to get into that with her, and I don't want to, because that's kind of personal, that I don't, unless she wants to, because she's given her story on her original video, her gastroparesis story, and she hasn't mentioned anything like that, and I think it'd be unfair to go into that in a response to her. But I'm just pointing out that, according to the NHS website, this is how people get that condition. Whether it's, I don't know, she might say it's hereditary or something, I don't know. But so basically, that is her reason why she can't eat vegan. That's why she can't eat a plant-based diet, because she can't consume large portions of vegetables. There's certain vegetables that she can't have, specifically, you know, like cauliflower and broccoli. They play huge havoc with her digestion, because basically she can't digest foods very quickly. So she needs small portions regularly, and she says that she needs very high fat portions of food that are very high in fat, because it provides more energy. So basically she needs a lot of she needs a lot of dense calories. Therefore she has to eat meat and dairy, because they are dense calories, because they contain a lot of fat. So she eats a lot of things like yogurt and cheese. She says that she can't eat. She doesn't eat a lot of red meat because of she has to have it. She can't have it overdone. She has to have it cooked in a very specific way. She has to spit out the gristle and stuff like that, because that plays havoc with her digestion. I made a response video to her, and you might have seen it. If not, check it out on my channel, where I go through all the vegan alternatives, all the vegan cheeses, vegan milk, vegan dairy, vegan yogurts, vegan mock meat, vegan meats, not the ones that contain soy, in case she's allergic to soy, no nuts and seeds, so no nut roast, stuff like that. I've listed all those alternatives, and then she makes this response, and she doesn't acknowledge that. She doesn't acknowledge it whatsoever, and she still doesn't acknowledge the ethical argument for veganism. So we'll get into it. I'll just catch up with the chat a bit. I don't know if I've missed anything of importance. Pressure on you, man. What's that in relation to? Do I need to go back? I don't know what he's referring to there. A bit sweaty, are we? From Shoe Ham Fat. It's been like 30 degrees here. I've got no air conditioning. I've got all the windows open. I'm fucking sweating look at my armpits. It's so hot. I don't know what to do. I've got no fan, nothing, and the computer's real hot. And unless I just sit here naked, I don't know what to do. You know, and I've got sunburn as well. I look a mess. I'm sorry. What can I do? I haven't got any makeup on. It's not a fucking beauty contest, all right? Right. Let's just get into this video. I don't want to take any more comments from you guys. You're horrible to me. Yeah. Trigger warning. It's really funny, because she likes to trigger people, right? But she's clearly very triggered in this video.
Good afternoon and happy Friday, everybody. I'm Alicia, this is Bijou, and you're watching Alicia TV. Today, on this lovely Friday, I bring to you the Alicia News. We have had our first actual video response made to a video on our channel, and it just so happens to be by a vegan who has the name Banana Warrior Princess. Now, she is from England, I'm assuming, based on her accent, and we are going to stick to the idea that I had in my last video, which is where I was going to argue about my diet, gastroparesis. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Links in the description for my Debunking Vegan Gains, my gastroparesis story video, which came out a couple weeks ago. Anyways, this girl decided...
So basically, before she continues, so she's not going to go into the ethical argument. She's not going to try and debunk that whatsoever. I painstakingly go through the ethical argument in my video, but she's not going to address that. She's just going to stick with, I've got gastroparesis, therefore I cannot be vegan. She's just going to stick with, she's not going to even respond to anything I said. She's just going to do her whole original video again and say I can't be vegan because I've got gastroparesis.
I did too, make a video response to me, and before I even get started on this, I wanted to thank her personally for even taking the time, whether it was that I upset/triggered her, or if
I'm not. It's not like, yeah. I guess I was triggered because you're putting out bullshit on the internet about veganism, which isn't true. So I guess in that way, you triggered me into making a valid response video to you, and now you're triggered and you're making a response to me. So we could keep going like this, like trigger warning. You know, like it's not an argument though, is it?
she just really was interested in trying to debunk my claims. I appreciate it. So let's just hop on into it and
come on, Alicia.
take a look at this video response for Alicia TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Alicia Weed.
I guess I've never said my last name on this channel before, so let's just do that. My last name is Whitey.
Whitey.
You heard it here first, folks.
I stand corrected.
Alicia Whitey.
I stand corrected. Although, I mean, I think she wants her channel name to be Alicia TV, but if you go to her channel name is Alicia Whitey. She needs to, like, rename her channel Alicia TV. She's put, like, some artwork at the top that says Alicia TV, but that's not actually her channel name, so, yeah.
Star, creator, and host of Alicia TV.
She's got some, you know, she's got quite a personality. She's quite entertaining. She's just a little bit, no, I'm not gonna insult her. Just listen to what she says. She has some interesting things to say.
My entire life I've had my last name mispronounced, and I guess I never thought that anybody would give two hairy craps about responding to me.
Well, if you're gonna make some vegan debunking videos, it's a habit of mine now to go onto YouTube, right? Type in at the top veganism debunked or debunking veganism, and then click the filters and see what's been happening in the world of anti-veganism within the last week or so. And yours was at the very top of that list a few weeks ago, and I couldn't help myself, you know, because debunking veganism, like, what are you going to say? Like, you're going to say that you to be consistent, you're going to say that, like, you don't give a fuck about ethics, aren't you? So it's just, I don't know, I can't help myself. I have to respond to you, alright? I have to respond to your bullshit, because you're putting shit out on the internet. You haven't got very many views though, so it's not going to go very far, but yeah, you still got to respond to.
And referring to me as my name instead of my actual channel name.
Yeah, but your channel name is Alicia Whitey.
I just thought that was quite interesting.
She has a small channel.
Your channel name is Alicia Whitey. It says quite clearly. You need to change it. You need to change it to what you want it to be. I don't know if that's a mistake or you just forgotten or something, or you've overlooked it. I don't know, but it can be easily corrected anyway.
Which focuses on topics of an anti-SJW nature. She loves Milo Yiannopoulos and Bearing, who are part of the skeptic community on YouTube. I don't have a problem with her calling out deluded intersectional ideologues and tend to agree with her on most of her opinions, although I think her content could be a lot stronger in the sense that she comes across as a bit of a fangirl rather than having anything of value during her commentaries.
I come off as a bit of a fangirl, which, hello, it says queen. I have all of these things behind me. I have never once pretended not to be a fangirl.
I'm not insulting you for being a fangirl. It's fine. Just saying I wouldn't watch your content because I need the sustenance behind the fangirlism, and you're not delivering it to me. So it's not, you know, I'm not saying it's a bad thing or something. I'm sure there's plenty of other people that would watch your content, but I'm not one of them.
My
apart from your
Me
anti-vegan videos.
being a fangirl, sharing with you the work that I love, the people that I love, my ideas and political opinions, and also triggering and crushing social justice warriors, such as this lovely princess here.
So look, she's actually said that I'm a social justice warrior. She's actually said it. A lot of people do this. A lot of people say, because you got warrior in your name, therefore you must be a social justice warrior. So I don't know if she's going to present a case as to why I'm a social justice warrior. Probably not. She's just, throwing out words without anything behind them. Most likely, she tends to do this quite a lot in her videos. But we'll see what she says.
I find it to be wonderful for someone to be a fan of something, and I have no problem with this lady being a fan of vegan gains. After all, that is how she probably found my video.
No. I found it from, like I said before, going through the filters on YouTube and for debunking veganism, and yours came up pretty high on that list. Just so happened to be about, you debunking vegan gains. So I am a fan of vegan gains. I know him. I talk to him online all the time, like we're friends. So can you be a fan of your friends? I love my friends. I'm fans of them. We're friends. So yeah, don't really see what that's got to do with things.
Searching on YouTube for people trying to rebut vegan gains, and she found mine. So I will just leave this and say there is no shame with being a fangirl. I have never tried to hide it. That's part of my shtick.
This is a 12-minute video, right? And she spent 4 minutes trying to justify her being a fangirl. It's got nothing to do with responding to, what? Just go through the ethical argument of veganism and say why you're an ethical person. That's all I want you to do. But you're not going to do it, are you? No, because you're so too lazy and just you're thick. Oh, there you go. I've said it. You're thick. You're just not thinking properly, are you? Got no critical thinking skills whatsoever.
I'm here in studio with you all to share with you the things that I enjoy, and hopefully you enjoy what I have to bring to the table. You shouldn't be ashamed of being a fan of vegan gains, Banana Warrior Princess, and I'm not afraid or ashamed of being a fan of Milo Bearing Queen.
5 minutes in, nearly halfway through the video.
Her most recent video entitled Debunking Vegan Gains, My Gastroparesis Story, in which she attempts to pull a roaming millennial over her less intelligent viewers by misrepresenting vegan gains' arguments and character assassinating him.
Now, we're not going to be mean here, but I'm not quite sure if she's saying that my viewers are less intelligent than roaming millennials, or my viewers are less intelligent than her viewers. If it is the first,
wait, say that again.
Or my viewers are less intelligent than
intelligent viewers by misrepresenting vegan gains' arguments and character assassinating him.
So you're saying yes. You're basically appealing to. I don't know whether you're. I mean, a lot of your viewership have come over to my videos, started commenting shit that doesn't make any sense on my videos, clearly demonstrating that they are not very bright whatsoever. I've had. Who is this? Is this bloke Sion's Talks a friend of yours? Because he comments on your video and backs you up on my videos as well, and it's just ridiculous. Like the stuff he comes out with. Like I was trying to explain to him, there's only 3 positions that you can hold as far as veganism is concerned. You've got be vegan, because it's the most consistent position. If you want to hold the position, if you want to be inconsistent, you're going to say you love animals and eat them too, or you're going to be a nihilist and not care about anything to be consistent. So there's only 3 positions that you could hold there. It's a straight dichotomy, because it involves thinking that animals have value or they don't, and if you don't think they have value, you can't think that humans are a value as well, unless you name the trait. So what is it about animals that, if true of humans, would justify the same treatment of humans? Unless you can name that trait, then you can't say that animals don't have any value. So there's only 3 positions that you can hold there. Either animals don't have any moral value whatsoever, in which case humans don't either, in which case you're a nihilist, or they do have moral value, in which case the most consistent position is to be vegan. Or you could just be inconsistent. But if you're inconsistent and you're saying you love animals, you eat them too, and you can't name a trait, then why don't you just say that? Like, just say I don't care. But if you're saying you don't care, you're saying you don't care about ethics. And if you know that you're doing an unethical act, if you fully understand that and you've watched the footage, you understand all the arguments. I don't think she actually understands the arguments yet because she hasn't actually talked about them. Then, to me, that just demonstrates that you're just firstly illogical, and secondly, well, you might be logical, but you're definitely inconsistent. But just admit that. Admit that you're a bit of a shitty person, really, because you're just saying you don't care about ethics. Anyway, what's my place now? Let's just carry on.
We're not going to be mean here,
So I want to go to bed.
But I'm not quite sure if she's saying that my viewers are less intelligent than roaming, or my viewers are less intelligent than her viewers. If it is the first, I know for a fact
I'm not saying either is. I'm not saying one's less intelligent than the other. I didn't actually compare the viewership of Roaming Millennial to your viewership. I'm just saying you're appealing to less intelligent people in general.
Some of my small amount of fans on my channel with Roaming Millennial. So I'm not really quite sure what she meant by that, but she can't keep consistent in what she's saying. Really, you can't say that Vegan Gains is being character assassinated by me when he character assassinates himself.
What? He character assassinates himself? How does he do that?
Also, you're a fan of
Hang on. How does he character assassinate himself? How does he do that? What? What the fuck?
And he doesn't just character...
What do you mean, like, because he uses satire and stuff? Because he acts like, because he does all this crazy shit, and some would say he looks like an idiot in his videos, whatever. I think it's funny that his character, that isn't an attempt to character assassinate himself. That's just comedy. That's just satire, isn't it? Like, how can you character assassinate yourself? Unless you really hate yourself, so you're publicly shaming yourself or something. I don't really understand. What are you getting at? How can you character assassinate yourself? I don't understand it.
Assassinate himself by what he says, but he also character assassinates other YouTubers and says some pretty outrageous things.
So, in veganism, the practice of critical thinking extends to dietary...
Hang on, back up a sec.
Other YouTubers and says some pretty outrageous things.
So...
hang on. For instance, what? What does he say? He character assassinates other YouTubers and says some pretty outrageous things. What are they, for one? And secondly, do they have any validity to them? Because if you're just character assassinating someone for the sake of it, like just pure ad hom, and using the ad hom attack, like the personal attack, as the argument, that's one thing. But if you're saying this person is a shit person because they understand the ethical reasons to go vegan and they're not doing it, it's like saying this person is just going around and stabbing people, they don't care about people, therefore they're a shitty person. There's some validity to that argument, so you're justified to character assassinate someone for being a shitty person, right? But if you're just going around saying, and it's just going around trolling, that's a different matter, isn't it? So yeah, just give some fucking context to what you're saying, because again, I'm just having to assume everything once again. Oh.
Veganism, the practice of critical thinking extends to dietary choices. So in layman's terms, I don't really feel comfortable with participating in a needless animal holocaust, so I'll just eat this nut roast instead of that butt roast, thanks. I don't really see the problem with that. What's the problem?
I don't have a problem with you eating your nut roast. I just ask that you don't have a problem with us eating our butt roast.
Well, okay. So it's just like, it's my personal preference, though. just because you can do what you want, and it's roaming millennial over again, isn't it? Like you can do what you want to do, and I'll do what I want to do. It's my personal preference. Like my taste pleasure is more important than somebody's life, kind of thing. You know, that argument just does not wash. How can you use that same argument for any other preference that you want to go around, if you want to rape someone, or you just don't like someone, so you're just going to stab them or whatever, just because your personal preferences dictate that you don't want that person to exist, you know? What else can you justify with your personal preferences?
This very much reminds me of a Westboro Baptist Church member picketing outside of the funerals of military men and women because they don't like war. They don't agree with war. They think war is needless, causes needless pain and suffering and death.
Well, it does, doesn't it?
Sound familiar? What about Jehovah's Witnesses? There is nothing scarier than trying to hide in your house when you know a Jehovah's Witness is at the door, like...
Yeah, well, but the thing is, though, with Jehovah's Witnesses, like, that's purely based on faith, whereas veganism is purely based on logic and facts. You can't deny that there is a Holocaust going on, 56 billion land animals per year. That's fact, right? That's not made up. That's not written in the Bible or something like that. Like, that's happening. So you can't say that we're making it up. It's happening. So you got to deal with it, or admit that you're a shit person because you don't care about ethics, you know, or go vegan, or be a nihilist. It's just one of those three, all right?
Hello, do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? And you're like, Jesus, oh my God, please, I love you, Jesus. Just keep your people from Jehovah away from me. It's terrifying, and you don't want to have to talk to these people. They're pushing their beliefs on you, similar to how...
Pushing our beliefs literally on to people. But the thing is, I've broken this down so many times. I think I broke it down in the response video to her. It's not like we're pushing our beliefs onto you. We're pushing your beliefs onto you because you believe in the same thing. Because if you believe that humans have moral value, it therefore, veganism extends logically from the position that you hold value for humans, because unless you can name the trait in animals that, if absent in humans, would justify killing us humans in the same way, you know, like if you're saying humans have to die for food because they're less intelligent, that argument doesn't wash. So it's your own belief system, basically, because you're saying, well, I assume you're of the position that humans hold moral value, so why can't you extend moral value to animals in the same way, unless you can name the trait? So it's your belief. It's your own belief system that we're pushing onto you, just reminding you that you've got a value system, unless you're a nihilist. So which is it? Is it nihilism? Is it inconsistency? Or is it veganism? It's one of those three. It can only be one of those three. I'm just going to keep going round and round in circles.
On us. Veganism is like a religion. Morals are subjective. Your morals may be different than my morals.
So hot.
Don't put me down for mine, and I won't put you down for yours.
Well, I'm putting you down for your own, by following your own logic, because I am assuming that you're of the belief that you hold moral value for animals. Therefore, you should hold moral value for animals, unless you can name the trait.
Look, if you're going to say that presenting a case for why it's ethically wrong to kill animals needlessly is an appeal to the heartstrings, then you're going to have to agree that making a case for why it's ethically unsound to kill humans needlessly is also an appeal to the heartstrings too.
My religion states that God put pigs, cows, chicken, and fish here.
Oh, religion now, huh? Okay.
Don't push your religion if you
So hang on. So wait a minute. So is she saying that she's religious now? Having said that she's scared of Jehovah's Witnesses coming to the door?
Pigs, cows, chicken, and fish here for us to consume.
Hang on, let's back up.
Needlessly is an appeal to the heartstrings. Then you're going to have to agree that making a case for why it's ethically unsound to kill humans needlessly is also an appeal to the heartstrings too.
My religion states that God put pigs, cows, chicken, and fish here for us to consume.
Okay. I don't really like when people say that they're religious and stuff. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole of debunking religion because it's just, it's a separate argument. Just my advice would be just stick with it. Just go by their own logic, okay? If somebody's Bible or somebody's religion says that cows, pigs, and chickens were put here on this planet for us to consume, that's all well and good. But does it say in the Bible that if you go vegan, you're going to go to hell? Is it a sin to be vegan? Is it a sin to not eat the animals? I don't think it is. So, why not? Why not be vegan? If God put cows, pigs, and chickens on this planet for us to consume, why did He make them sentient? Why did He make them suffer? Why did He make them have the ability to suffer? Again, it's not a sin to be vegan. So you can do it.
Push your religion if you don't want me to push mine.
You have a cat, so I'm guessing that you do have consideration for animals, which means that you do hold ethical treatment for animals as valuable in some way, right? So, you would be creating an obvious double standard if you say that you don't care about ethics, then go ahead and defend your cat if I attempted to chop his or her head off with an axe.
Neither you nor I need cats to survive.
Hey, you don't need cows, pigs, and chickens to survive either. You don't need to eat animals to survive, full stop.
Said previously, my morals are different than yours.
No. Your morals are the same as mine if you hold the position that humans have moral value. Unless you're a nihilist.
I believe that God put some of these animals on this earth for companions, and He's put others on this earth.
It's all faith-based. This is all faith-based. She's meant to be like a logical person if she's, I don't know. Is she even part of the skeptic community? She's a fangirl of people in the skeptic community. One of those people that she admires is Milo Yiannopoulos, who is quite a logical person, but he is also a Christian as well. I don't really understand that, but I think it's probably more to do with, being a good person rather than, actually, I don't know. Yeah, he probably does believe in God, but I don't know. Like you get these Christians and stuff that they're only Christian. Like in the last consensus in this country in the UK, they resurveyed quite a lot of the people that said that they were Christian and asked them why did they to go into the reasons why they're Christian, and it was like, I don't know what the figure was, but it was like well over 50%, I think. I don't know if it's the majority, but an overwhelming amount of people said that they're only Christian because they just want to be a good person and they want to be virtuous. It's got nothing to do with whether they believe God is real or whether everything in the Bible is real or whether prayer works or whether miracles happen or whatever. They just want to be virtuous, So yeah. Anyway, I've forgotten what she was saying now.
For sources of food. Let's move on to the very...
So she's saying, the Bible states that, again, it's the same thing, isn't it? The Bible states that you can eat some animals and not. Well, you don't need to, though. That's the thing. There's no necessity. Wouldn't God want us to find other sources of food if we can survive on them? Isn't that a more virtuous thing to do? And He's not going to send you to hell for being a vegan. It's not written anywhere that's the case, is it?
Very last question that I had at the end of my vegan video, I listed 5 questions that I didn't think that anybody had ever asked Vegan Gains before. Seeing that she liked to avoid the other questions.
Hang on, no, I did not avoid them. I diligently went through every single question that you asked in that video. There's 5 questions. I don't know if I can get up the 5 questions, but three of them were basically the same. Hang on, I'm gonna get up the questions. I am going to get up the questions. Just bear with me. I need to have this at hand, evidence at hand, because she's just going to gloss over. She's just going to gloss over the first 4 questions, say that I didn't answer them properly, and just jump straight to the 5th question, which is based on her stomach condition, gastroparesis, and just concentrate on that to get out of the she just wants to skip over the ethical argument for veganism. She'd do anything to wriggle out of it. She's a little weasel. She really is. Hang on, where is it? Here we go. I didn't write them down on that. I've got so many notes in my phone, and they haven't got any proper headings. It's just I need to get better organised with my. Right, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go on to her actual video. And it's all written down in the comments section of her video. Right, here we go. Right. Yeah, I don't actually have her actual questions. They're in her video. But I think her first question was, where would we put all the if everyone went vegan tomorrow, where would we put all the animals? You know, where would they live? Would they overrun the planet or whatever? So I said, orders of magnitude more crops are fed to livestock animals to sustain their lives than it would take to sustain your own life. Therefore, a vegan diet is more sustainable. Oh yeah, so she was saying, like, how would we sustain all the animals when the world goes vegan tomorrow? Like, who's going to pay for that? And basically her second and third and fourth question were sort of stemmed from that first question, like, where would they live? Who's going to pay for them? She's just glossed over that. So I've put here to the second question, the world wouldn't become a vegan utopia overnight. Of course it wouldn't, because that's just going to happen over time, isn't it? No, it's not going to be just like that. Okay, suddenly the world's vegan. Because it's happening slowly and gradually. So the world wouldn't become vegan a vegan utopia overnight. Let's be rational. The decreased demand for animal products would slowly phase out the supply of animal products. Every dollar you spend on meat, cheese, eggs and milk is a clear indication that you support a global animal holocaust. And every dollar that you do spend on those products is telling the meat and dairy industry that there's a clear demand for those products, therefore there's going to be a greater demand for those products. Whereas if you decrease the demand for that supply chain, incrementally that supply is going to go down, you know? It's only going to go one of two ways, like either increase or decrease. That's just logical. Yeah, so basically she's just skipped over. Hang on, I'll read the rest of that answer to that question first, and then we'll go straight to question 5. Yeah, so I said, if you wouldn't be okay with the same treatment to be inflicted upon yourself, then I think you would agree that you would need to justify the devaluation of livestock animals by naming a difference between yourself and them, which, if present in yourself and not them, would justify the same treatment that you are facilitating by paying for it to happen to them. Every dollar that you spend on vegan food sends a clear signal that you would prefer for animals not to be... every dollar that you spend on vegan food sends a clear signal that you would prefer for animals not to be stabbed to death I'm just stating the facts here. I'm not appealing to emotions. It's a misconception that by going vegan you are actually saving lives. You are essentially sparing a life to be born into a possible miserable existence with a fixed expiration date attached to them. So, you know, I go through the ethical arguments for not eating animals there, but she just glosses over it and just goes to, I can't be vegan because I've got gastroparesis, as we will now discover.
Number 5, where I was talking about people who have allergies and also have gastroparesis, such as myself. Last question is...
Wait. Okay, let me just go back on the stream, pick up the comments section again. Yeah, so I painstakingly went through, like I said, I went through all the foods that she could eat as a vegan that she can eat. Like, literally, like for like. Vegan yogurt in place of dairy yogurt. Vegan milk in place of dairy milk. Vegan meat in place of animal meats. You know, why can't she eat them? She hasn't given me any reasons why she can't. Has she tried them? Does she not? Do they not agree with her digestion or something like that? She hasn't actually said anything like that yet. So she hasn't... This isn't really a response at all. Like, how is this a response?
What about people with allergies to nuts, seeds, or soy? Also, people like me. I have gastroparesis.
You don't have to eat nuts, seeds, or soy to be vegan. Look at all these soy-free vegan options here on the screen.
Here we go, look.
May I ask what nutrients from animal products you need that you can't get from plants?
So wait, what does this say? You can take protein supplements, but the best source of protein is meat. Where does this come from? This is just, she's just clipped this from somewhere. What, it could be from a fucking blog or something, for all I know. Like, clearly citation is needed. Meat also contains vitamins and minerals that aid muscle growth, like zinc, which assists in muscle repair, and iron. So what, you can't get that from plants? Of course you can. Which boosts energy levels and combats fatigue. Well, you can get zinc, you can get iron, you can get zinc and iron from plants. So just eat plants. And she's saying that she can't eat stuff like vegetable. She can't eat vegetables like broccoli and stuff like that. She can eat some vegetables, but not all of them. But she has to take she's actually said in her original video that she has to take supplements. And now she's going to make a case for, like, vegans have to take supplements. I don't know, like, we have to take B12, but if you've got a healthy diet, then you don't need to take any other supplement apart from B12. Meat also contains creatine. No, it doesn't, actually. Meat does not contain creatine, a nitrogen-containing compound that improves protein synthesis and provides muscles with energy, encouraging muscle gain. Correct me if I'm wrong, but meat does not contain creatine. Does it? Hit me up in the chat if you know differently. I don't think meat contains creatine. Your body actually already contains creatine. So, creatine isn't a protein. Or is it a protein? I don't know, actually. It's a nitrogen-containing compound. Yeah. So, I think your body synthesizes it itself. So if you give your body all the right conditions to synthesize it, why do you need to eat meat for? But I'm not a nutrition expert, so I could be talking out my arse here. But anyway, this clearly got no citations. We can't take this as evidence to say that vegan diets are unhealthy or eating meat is any healthier. So just have the plant-based, mock meats and dairy alternatives. Why not?
It should be enough proof for you that vegans have to take supplements, not just B12 supplements, but others as well, in order to have a healthy diet.
What supplements would they be then? Which supplements? What can you get in? What is in meat that you cannot get from plants, apart from B12? And with B12, are you saying you'd rather stab an animal to death than take a sublingual? And in any case, the livestock animals most of them are injected with B12 anyway, because they can't get it naturally. Especially if they're factory farms, then definitely they're going to have to be supplemented with B12. So, it's not really an argument.
That's enough evidence right there. Now, with my my slowed down digestive tract.
No, it's not. Hang on, back up. I just want to repeat that.
That's enough evidence right there.
No, it's not evidence. That is not evidence. What evidence have you presented there? Apart from clipping something, I don't know where it's from. That's not evidence.
Now, with my slowed down digestive tract, I cannot eat large portions of food. I have to eat small portions multiple times throughout the day. Milk products, cheese.
There are plenty of plant-based milks on the market. There are plenty of vegan cheeses for you to choose from.
That ain't milk. That ain't cheese.
So what? You want to continue to fund a Holocaust? You want to continue to contribute to animal cruelty because you like the taste of cheese? Just because it's not real cheese? Why can't you eat it? If it's got the calories, it's got everything you need. It's not going to upset your stomach problem. Then why not have it? It's just because you like the taste of it. Just admit it.
I stated in my previous video that these food items that I would have to eat in order to be a vegan, I would have to eat many larger portions of said foods. For example, I could eat 1 scrambled egg with butter and a little bit of milk. That's 325 calories. Now, in order for me to get the same amount
Oh.
to eat 8 cups of cooked broccoli. I can't.
Yeah, you can't digest broccoli. You've already said this in your original video. But I've said that there's vegan cheeses, there's vegan milks, there's other vegan alternatives that you can eat that aren't broccoli.
Digest raw vegetables. All of my vegetables would have to be cooked.
But oh god. Oh, I just feel like banging my head against the fucking keyboard.
But the sheer volume of what I would have to consume in order to get enough calories would put me in the hospital.
Vegan milk, cheese. There's fucking vegan eggs now, for fuck's sake. There's so much. I've given you all the alternatives and you just completely ignored it. And you're just basically restating what you said in your original video, which is not an argument.
I'm not sure if she understood exactly what gastroparesis is, although she did try to play doctor.
No, I didn't play doctor. I researched it so that I knew I knew what I was talking about, because I didn't want to just brush it off as not being. It obviously is quite a severe complication that you've got there, and I wanted to see how severe it was, so I knew what I was talking about, so that I didn't, I don't want to delegitimize your very severe condition, because if it is really that severe and you really do need to eat animal products, then obviously, yeah, I wouldn't be able to argue for that, but I've done the research. It looks like you don't have to eat animal products, you just need the calories. You can I went onto the fucking NHS website. NHS is the National Health Service here in the UK. Okay, so anybody can go on there and look at any particular condition, and it will give you a breakdown of what it is, what causes it, and steps that you can take to make it better. So, I'm sorry if I played doctor, but I need to know what I'm talking about before I respond to you. I don't know what else I can say about that, really. I've given you all the options. Maybe go to your doctor and say, look, I want to be vegan now. Is there anything in these vegan options that is going to make me worse? Why don't you go to the fucking doctor and ask them, can I be vegan? And then do a response video saying, I can't be vegan because my doctor said so. That would be more legitimate, wouldn't it?
But I'll just state that I said all of this stuff in my previous video.
Oh, that's convenient. That's so fucking lazy. I just stated this in my first video, but you didn't actually respond to what I said in my response video. You're just restating what you said. I can't be vegan because I got gastroparesis, but you haven't stated why you can't eat the vegan food. Oh.
She is on animal strike. thanks to you, Banana Warrior Princess. My cat's
Okay.
standing on the other side of the
All right.
room, pissed off at me, and she won't say goodbye.
Yeah.
I blame you.
Okay.
Thank you for watching, everybody.
Okay. Oh. I'm not going to respond to any more videos from her because clearly it's just pointless. Clearly it is just pointless. So I'm going to take a few questions from the chat and then I'm going to go to bed and try and sleep in this heat, which is going to be virtually impossible probably. So yeah. I wonder if I can get the chat on the screen here instead of my face. My horrible sweaty face. Alright, let's go through the chat. How far back should we go? Oh, meat does have creatine. I stand corrected. Okay. Do we need creatine to survive? Can we just not take a supplement if we need it? Like, what is it about creatine that we need? Is it essential? Is it some kind of essential amino acid or something? Should I get a blood test now to see whether I've got enough creatine levels in my bloodstream? Am I going to survive without it? Meat contains creatine. Okay, alright. I'm no nutrition expert, alright? People contain creatine. Okay. So is it one of those things that is it like cholesterol where we've already got it, so why would we need to top it up? Is it something like that? I don't know. Yeah, too much creatine can be bad for you anyway, can't it? I think it can fuck up your kidneys and stuff, I've heard. But meat eaters have higher creatine levels than vegans who don't supplement. Meat eaters have higher creatine levels than vegans that don't supplement creatine. Again, what is it about creatine that we need? I don't think it's essential, is it? Creatine is a nitrogenous organic acid that occurs naturally in vertebrates. Okay. So what? Do we need it? Creatine though, is that going to be a new argument now? Creatine though. Alright. I'll just get off the subject of creatine, it's boring. Essential amino acids are Matt Hill VP. Okay, yeah, he's just, okay, so creatine is synthesized in the body, so therefore it's not an essential amino acid. So you don't need to eat, if you're eating meat just to get creatine, you don't even need it. So you don't need to get creatine in the first place, it looks like. It's not essential, it's just a top up. So why don't you just use a supplement instead? Or one of these powders or something like that. Okay, everyone's just talking about protein. I love mushrooms. Yeah, mushrooms are pretty good. Why is eating cheese a holocaust? Did I say that eating cheese is a holocaust? Okay, so I'll give it a breakdown to you. Julia Squat Thrust, you're one of my trolls on my videos. You spout shit. Makes no sense. Basically, cheese comes from milk. Cows, the way cows produce milk is that they have to be artificially inseminated to become pregnant to produce offspring. The males of which don't produce milk, they can't carry milk. They're not going to grow up to produce milk, so they are of no use to the dairy industry, so therefore they go into the meat industry. The meat industry is a holocaust. Simple. But what are you going to say? It's not a holocaust? What are you going to describe it as then? Humane slaughter or something? I've lost my place though. Where are we? I'm not going to get through all these comments, I don't think, tonight. saying, oh god, fucking creatine and jellyfish though, and protein though. I don't know about these things. No, creatine is definitely not needed. Don't talk about it unless someone brings it up. Yeah. Oh, green crabs though, yeah. Oh, the invasive species argument, and we never got into that, did we? Just people just talking amongst themselves in the chat. Right. Basically, I'm going to be on Thursday night. It's going to be, I think we're going to do the debate about 11 o'clock UK time, which is about 6 p.m. New York time, or Eastern time, Canada. I think that's right. Which is 5 hours behind UK time. I don't know any of the other time zones. So I think that's when it's going to take place. Actual Justice Warrior wants to debate me. We were supposed to have a debate straight after the debate that he had with OG Mizzen. I didn't get back to him because I just assumed, well, he didn't win the debate. You know, Ask Yourself came on OG Mizzen's debate and just, you know, came off as the most consistent because it's not ethical to kill. I'm sorry, it's not ethical to kill a pig for a heart valve. It's not. You might need it. You know, you want it to survive. You might, you know, you could try and justify it by saying I needed it to survive, but it's still not moral. It's still not ethical to take the pig valve. So, you know, because it's like, so you got survival and you got morality. There's still two separate things. There's still two separate things. You can't merge them together. They're technically two different things. It's still not moral to take a pig valve. He conceded on that, and we've been talking on Twitter, and he said he's not going to use the pig valve argument because clearly Ask Yourself was consistent. He is going to bring up wheat though. He's going to bring up the wheat though argument, which I don't want to get into it too much. I've got my notes here, and it's really easy to debunk. But I don't know if he's actually watching. So, I mean, it is quite straightforward. It is quite straightforward because, I mean, wheat is still a food. It's still sustenance. It's still sustenance. It's still useful to us. So therefore, we still, you know, wheat. We still need wheat to survive. He'll argue that we don't need wheat to survive, but he's going to have to argue that wheat has no nutritional value whatsoever, which clearly it does. It's not as good as eating vegetables, yeah, sure, but it's still sustenance. It's still food. We need it to survive. So that's not the whole of my argument. There's a lot more to it than that. But yeah, it'll be an interesting debate. And I don't know what else is he going to say. He's going to try and find some other inconsistency where he's going to try and back me into a corner, try and make me concede that in certain situations I would kill animals. But it's still not ethical. It's still not ethical, you know? He'll say like, oh, you'll kill it for survival or whatever. I don't know what I would do in a depraved situation, but I still can't say it's ethical to do it. I still can't say it's ethical to kill an animal for survival without naming a trait that's present in the animal, which would make it acceptable in the human context. So, you know, I think it's just gonna be one of those things that just goes round and round and round in a circle. We're not gonna get anywhere, but I'm just gonna come off as the most consistent one. So. I'm just gonna ask him why he's not vegan. Like, why? Like, come on, dude. Why aren't you vegan? Is it because it's because of wheat though? Really? Are you're gonna honestly say that killing insects for pesticides that kill insects for wheat is on the same level as stabbing billions of animals for food? It's not really on the same level, really, is it? So I'm going to get into that in great depth with him on a debate on Thursday, so please tune in for that. It will be a really interesting debate, and hopefully you'll all be there, and it will start a lot earlier than this live stream has. And yeah, I can't wait actually. I'm psyched for it. I really am. This is the future of my channel, live streaming. I love it. It's great, and I love chatting to you in the comment section, and interacting with you. It's great. I don't get this when I do street interviews. You know, I don't have an audience there, apart from the cameraman. So it's cool. Right. Everyone's just chatting amongst themselves in the comments. If anyone's got any pressing concerns or questions for me before I go to bed now, then hit me up now. If not, I'm just gonna wrap it up, guys, I think. What adds calories to the food chain? Eating animals... Oh. Wheat adds calories to the food chain. Eating animals reduces it. Yeah, that's true, yeah. Yeah, because they have to consume more calories to get the same amount of calories in the meat, right? So yeah, like eating wheat is way more sustainable than eating animals. So yes, that's another argument for eating wheat actually. It's way more sustainable to sustain your own life than it would to sustain the animals' lives to sustain your life, kind of thing. So that, yeah, like he's not going to win at all if he goes down the environmental route. If we add that to the equation, which I wasn't even going to factor that one in, but that could be another string to my bow, I suppose. What time Thursday? I just said a minute ago, 11 o'clock UK time and 6 PM Eastern time. I'll do another announcement on the channel. Hopefully, I'll do a little, promo video. I'll tweet it. I'll put it on my Facebook so everyone's aware of it. So yeah, please tune in on Thursday and yeah, share the link or whatever around your friends and like it and stuff. So it gets a bit of it gets more views and stuff. It'd be nice. I'm not going to stop doing the street interviews. Cheeky cough. How do you pronounce your name? Of course not. It's just I'm a carer. I'm a living carer. I'm here 7 days a week, and then I only have 7 days off. Out of those 7 days off, I can only do 1 or 2 days, which is the weekend, only if I have a camera person there to help me. So I can only do it once every 2 weeks if someone is available to help me. I can't go around with the camera like that and the microphone like that. It's just not going to work. And ask people questions. It's really hard to. I love doing them though. But it's just the yeah. It's just getting people to help me on specific days that I can only do them. So I am going to try and do them as often as I can. Don't worry. If you want to donate some money to me on Patreon, and then I'll be able to do it full time, then feel free, But at the moment, you've got people like Joey Carbstrong, James Aspie that are doing it, so you've always got their channels. In the meantime, I want to set aside some time where I'm just gonna, like just a week of London street interviews where I'll just work out flat out for a week, just doing flat out street interviews, and I'll have enough content for, I don't know, 10 videos or whatever to last me for 6 months. I don't know, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But yeah, I'm trying my best, guys. I'm trying my best, alright? I'm doing my best for you here. In the meantime, you're just going to have to bear with the shitty live streams and response videos, alright? He won't acknowledge the debate is between animals as a food source and veggies as a food source. He won't acknowledge the debate as between animals as a food source and veggies as a food source. I don't really know what that means. Yeah, they're both food sources. What is he saying? That one isn't... Oh, okay, so like wheat shouldn't be a food source because it hasn't got as many nutrients as meat or other plant-based food sources, so therefore it shouldn't be a food source. But it still is a food source, and it's quite a it's a very flexible, very viable food source. It was a very cheap food source, so it should be a food source, and it's useful. I don't want to get too much into it now because I've got some really good arguments, and I want to like save them for the debate. Banana, how do you feel about honey consuming vegans? I personally, I don't have any problem with it if you can I think that there are some ethical arguments for keeping bees, and if it's like in your back garden, and if you can prove that taking a certain amount of their honey isn't gonna, and you're not destroying the queen bees or whatever, you're not destroying the bees, you're not exterminating them. If you can prove that it is ethical and you're not taking all their food and it doesn't have any detrimental effect on them in any way, then I don't see that there is a problem with it if it's not having any detrimental effects on the bees. But I don't know enough about it. I haven't researched it into it enough to say whether it's ethical or not. So therefore, I'm just going to default to not having honey at the moment. So yeah, that's my position. BWP, remember the vegan position is not you don't need meat to survive. This is a straw man. Remember the vegan position is not you don't need meat to survive. That's a straw man. It's that we're against the exploitation and use of animals. Well, what is the argument to say that you do need to eat meat to survive? Oh yeah, sorry. There is an argument to say that you do need meat to survive in certain situations, such as Eskimos and people like that. They don't have any other choice. It's still not ethical though. Yeah. So yeah, I guess you're right. It is kind of a straw man in that sort of sense, but it isn't in the sense of within the Western world we don't need it. Like we've got plant-based options, so. You don't need it to survive because we've got other alternatives. So I think you needed to put some context in your comment there. I'm not sure. Unless I'm wrong. Unless it totally is a straw man, in which case, tell me why. Yeah, we are against the exploitation and use of animals because we wouldn't accept it for ourselves in the same circumstances, would we? So we wouldn't accept it in the human context. So why would we inflict it on animals without naming the trait that makes it acceptable to do it to them? We'd have to prove demonstrably that per calorie created by wheat, more animals were destroyed, when compared with other crops. But if that was true, vegans wouldn't be in favour of wheat. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, if the wheat if it was only wheat that caused death and not all the other crops, of course we wouldn't eat meat. We wouldn't eat wheat. But that's not the case because insects die from producing any crop if you put pesticides on them. So that's like levels the playing field again, doesn't it? If it was just wheat, it was only wheat that was causing deaths, then of course we just wouldn't eat wheat. But that's not the case. He argues about wheat. You could just say that consuming animals adds to wheat production. He argues about wheat. You could just say that consuming animals adds to wheat production. I don't get that. You could just say that consuming animals adds to wheat production. Do animals eat wheat? I don't think they're fed on wheat, are they? It's more sort of maize, corn and soy. I think maybe, do you mean like crop production in general, in terms of, more crops are fed to sustain animal lives than to sustain our own lives? That argument. That's the trap. He'd say that you need to concede rights to move to reduce suffering. Yeah, that's the thing. He's not even going to be able to get to wheat because I'm not going to concede on the rights argument, unless he's going to come up with some bizarre situation where I would deny animals their rights. These are the things he's going to come up with for the debate on Thursday. He's already told me he's going to be doing this, so I don't know what those things are. All I can think of would be things like animal testing, which is the same as the pig valve argument, or tribes people, foragers, that kind of thing, to survive. But we're not in that situation, and it's still not ethical, really. It's still not ethical to, like, you need it to survive, yeah, but I wouldn't say it's ethical, because the two is two different things again. You can separate them. That argument literally requires secular reasoning. I don't know what you're referring to there. Obviously suffering isn't the only thing that matters. If it did, then we could hypothetically give one child every year to the torture monster, and in return he magically removes all our suffering. Obviously suffering isn't the only thing that matters. If it did, then we would hypothetically give one child every year to the torture monster, and in return he magically removes all our suffering. So what other things matter then, other than suffering? Obviously it has an effect. If somebody's suffering, you're causing suffering. It doesn't only cause suffering to them. It has implications on their family and friends and people like that as well. Is that what you're talking about? I think I'm going to have to wrap up the stream because I'm getting tired. I've got to be up in less than 6 hours, so I think I need to wrap this up. I think property rights is the way to go with the wheat thing. What would be interesting to see how he would counter the rights argument. What do you mean, Owen? Can you give an example of the property rights argument? You've used this in your debate with that guy T, actually, haven't you? Yeah, don't concede rights. You'll be all right. Yeah, of course I'm not. It's still not. It's not ethical. No, I don't need to go down the wheat though argument. I mean, I can. I will. I still will if he wants to, but he's going to lose. So I need to go because I'm really tired, guys. So thank you all so much for watching. I'm never going to be able to catch up with all these comments. I'm so sorry. Sorry. I will reply to this one though, to Chichikov. It's not my intention to chastise you for not doing street interviews, Emma. I merely wanted to express approval in my characteristically terse manner. Yeah, no. I appreciate that. I really want to get back into it, and that's another thing. I did have some really great street interviews on the channel. I had to take them down recently because one of the ladies I interviewed, she was pregnant, and it stressed her out so much. She said, she emailed me personally. She said, I came across as a fool. Please, can you take the video down? I feel bad, and some of the people that watch your channel I work with and stuff like this. And she was about to drop, basically, guys, like any day. She was 9 months pregnant, and like I don't want to have I don't want to cause any complications of her pregnancy. I don't want to stress her out. I had to take that video down, and there was another one that I did, which is like so good. Like 3 people said that they were just like, yeah, hands down, they were going to consider veganism. It was the most consistent position, and the fucking audio fucked up. I just couldn't believe it. The SD card corrupted, and there's no way I was going to put that video out without the sound, because it was just, nobody's going to watch it without the sound. So that's 2 videos in a month that I had to take down. I just had the worst luck. Yeah. So it's been bad times, bad luck with the street interviews recently, so I'm so sorry. I want to make it up to you. I will be doing some more street interviews soon, alright? So please, please, please stay tuned for that. Don't be unsubscribing or anything. I'm still going to be doing the street interviews, alright? I know, it's my USP. Yeah, that's my USP of this channel, alright? It's the street interviews. I get that. I'm not the best at response videos or live streams, alright? I'm not going to fuck up the debate on Thursday, don't worry. But yeah, street interviews are the way forward. I'll be cracking on with them as soon as I can. Tuesday, next week, hopefully there'll be some street interviews up on the channel. Alright guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Tune in on Thursday and I'll put a little announcement, hopefully, if he doesn't cancel at the last minute. I'll put an announcement at the latest on Wednesday, and yeah, make sure you're subscribed and make sure you've got the notification bell thingy on so that you know when it's on, in case you forget that it's on at 11 o'clock on Thursday. I don't know how many times I'm going to say it in one live stream. 11 o'clock, Thursday, UK time, 6 PM Eastern time, Thursday. Tune in then. Alright. I am going to wrap up this stream right now and get some sleep. Okay.